it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and it is, what is it, August 10th now. And it's kind of a moment that I've been looking forward to and regretting at the same time. I'm going into my nasty hive. The last time I went in there, it was just to replace a few frames of drawn out honey. And they went berserk on me. And they often do. They don't all the time, but they often do. They're defensive, borderline, aggressive bees, right? So, in other words, when you get into the hive, they do come at you. Sometimes they're just walking around the hives, like behind it, you can catch a sting as well. So I asked last time whether I should pinch the queen. Almost unanimously, everybody said, whack the queen, get a new one in there. But I'm not going to right now. And the reason why I'm not going to is it's my own reasoning. And this is, it's early August, and I don't have that much time for these bees. I went from 3 hives to 7 in 2 locations. So, and I've had spent a lot of resources and a lot of time with queenless bees that are not producing and borderline not surviving or won't survive the winter. And this hive has produced really well. Although it's aggressive, it's produced really well. So what I decided to do is I won't touch the queen for now. I'll keep working the hive though. So now I'm just gonna check out the honey supers. It's had 2 supers on, most of which were drawn out already for 2 weeks. So I'm expecting there to be a lot of capped honey in there. And I just want to try and figure out when I'm going to have to either put on a 3rd honey super, which I'm prepared to do right now if I need to, or just start to plan out when I'm going to do the next honey harvest. So, but this is a perfect test. So I waited until it's a perfect day. It's like 24 degrees Celsius, which is about, I think, 75 or so. And it's sunny and gorgeous. There's no wind. So this is an example where the bees have no excuse. If they're aggressive now, they're just aggressive. I'm suited up, I'm ready for it. So thanks for joining me. We'll see how it goes on 4D Honeybee. Okay, so I will smoke these bees, whether they're asking for it or not. And again, I'm not nervous about it in the sense that I'm not worried about them stinging me. They could sting me, they could not, but I get stung plenty when I'm not in this hive either. So there's a lot of bees in here. They're doing really well. So I just want to have a look at the honey supers and see when I can start thinking about extracting honey or maybe adding a super to them right now. Hopefully that smoke is not bothering your vision too much. So lots of bees, as one would expect. There is a queen excluder on here, so I wouldn't expect to see the queen up here. But let's see what we got. No queen on there. It's funny, because these bees have been so aggressive, I have rarely done stuff like clean up the dead bees, clean up the excess propolis buildup. You just basically slam them shut and run away. But they're pretty calm right now, which is a good sign. I'm going to give them some more smoke, just in case they decide to change their mind. You know, another thing that could trigger these bees is my talking, right? They're certainly not used to that in sound, certainly not used to it right at their hive, but it's hard to make a YouTube video without talking, in my experience anyway. And the thing is, also, I can only handle them with so much kid gloves, right? If they're going to be nasty, then I'm going to have to deal with it or make the change. Can't pretend there's something they're not. Wish a lot of humans would realize that too. Okay, so first look. Looking pretty good. Got some comb built up against the inner lid, which I don't mind. A lot of people, bothers a lot of people a lot, but it doesn't bother me too much. So again, looking for the queen here too. Gorgeous day out. These bees should be happy. Not nasty. Okay, so what do we got up here? We got a lot of capped honey. Here, have a look. See, it looks to me like possibly 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Like all the 9 frames are capped. So now, going to put the camera on me for a sec because you're going to see that there is one solitary bee trying to get at me. So you'll see it here in a sec, watch. See it? It's hitting the camera, it's hitting me. I mean, this doesn't mean the hive is nasty. Well, maybe it does. I mean, it's just one bee, right? But it only happens with this hive. So if that's the worst it's going to be, hope I haven't jinxed myself, then I can live with that. It is nature after all, and we're trying to, like, look at them, right? We're trying to fool them. We're trying to make them do what we want them to do. And so you really shouldn't get too upset when it doesn't always go your way. That's the way I figure it. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's my philosophy. All right, so these are incredible frames. Look at this. Goodness gracious, look at that. That is dark, a little darker. You see it? Wow, it's actually... Here guys, I don't want to squish it, just move over a bit. Move over a bit. There we go. It's actually darker in the middle and lighter on the sides. You see, it's just different times that they've finished it up. And again, one bee just whacking me in the face non-stop. So there's not much that I want to do to this. If the second brood box looks like this, then I'm adding the third brood box, and I'll add it down below. And what I'll do this time is, you see I've got 9 frames here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'll start off with 10 frames on the box so that they don't build it out too wild. In the end, I prefer the 9 frames because they build them out wider, and I get a much better honey harvest per unit frame, if you know what I mean. So, but all these frames are completely capped with honey. Now I figured out that that conservatively, each brood box netted me about 25 pounds of honey. So if I have 2 more and 2 more on that, probably 3 more on that, I'm probably still in for another 120, 130 pounds of honey. Last year I took home 40. And that was enough honey for me for the year. So I actually do have to give serious consideration to what I'm going to do with the rest of the honey. I mean, people have told me I should sell it. I don't know if I want to. I don't particularly want to be in the food sales business. I give a lot of it away, but I might just have to give away more. Or sell some. Maybe a garage sale or a yard sale or something, where I let my kids earn some money by selling this honey. And I just had to revive my smoker here. It's almost going out. Definitely don't want it going out now. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try and take off this box and move it. Wow, yeah, that's about as full as she's going to get. It's got to be a good 5 pounds per frame, so 45 to 50 pounds easy. And this one is almost the same. It looks like the outside frame might not be drawn out. Just going to smoke them down. Just have a couple of bees coming at me, but that's life. So what do you think about the decision not to pinch the queen? I mean, I've had my own queen traumas with other hives here, queenless hives that I still have to deal with. So as far as dealing with queens, I'm making that my priority. See, this is the only frame in the second box that really isn't drawn out completely. So I'm going to leave this to the side and probably end up putting that back in the middle, just so that they tend to it a little more quickly. I am going to put a new honey super on, but I'm going to put it right here in between the brood box. Here, I'll show you. Right here in between the brood box, you got the queen excluder right there, and this box right here. Now more bees coming out. I mean, probably a good 5 or 6, really getting nasty. And now everyone that comes out directly at my face. So more smoke. That's what's called for. I do smoke myself a little bit too, but you can only do so much. right back at it. Now someone gave me the idea to close your eyes when they start coming at you because they like coming at the eyes. So I might as well try that. I don't think they're going to leave me. They're pretty persistent. Okay, I'm going to put that frame back in just in the hopes that they'll draw it out a little more quickly because this side is completely empty. I don't know if I showed you that side. So, I mean, the answer is yes, they're defensive. More defensive, I'd say, than aggressive. I mean, it's just a hive that you have to work with gloves, and good gloves at that. And maybe just plan out your time so that you're not exposing yourself too much. I want to make sure that queen excluder stays with this, or stays with the brood box down below. So I'm just going to open it up a little more before lifting this right off. And I will smoke more before I lift it off as well. Okay. Now for more smoke. Yeah, the smoke doesn't make them happier, I'll tell you that much. Okay. I'm going to take this box off, then put it in a new box. And then Bob's your uncle. This box is certainly not as heavy as the upper box, but it's a pretty good. Okay, so have a look at the bee activity around me. You tell me if this is aggressive or defensive or both. Now you can see them all over the camera, right? It's definitely not a whole bunch of fun, I'll tell you that. But again, so far the decision is going to be, and it's going to be maintained, not to squish the queen. Yet. If I get stung, maybe that'll change the good. Okay. So there you go. That's my nasty hive. The queen gets another reprieve for a little bit. As always, I welcome your comments. Right or wrong, it's a decision that has to be made when you're here. You know what I mean? And not always right. But thanks for joining me anyway at 40 Honeybee. So I took the walk back to the car, and well, they still came after me. And there you can see one stinger in my glove. Now this is one time where the stinger hasn't actually gotten through the glove, but they do get through the gloves. Even these fine leather gloves. And they hurt, but this one doesn't, so. I think I've gotten rid of the last bee. Like, oh good. 30 yards from my car, which is another 20 yards to the hive. You see the white car there. And I have no doubt when I get back to my car they'll be waiting for me. So anyway, still not enough to make me want to squish that queen, but certainly shows what an aggressive hive is like. And thanks for joining me again.